And I'm having 2 to 3 hours of therapy a day now. I keep telling my doctor that the only real guilt I feel is for what I did to you, Mom, and to Katie. When Katie came to see me in jail, I lied to her and told her that I'd never really had any sincere feelings for her because I thought that that was the kindest thing I could do for her. Maybe I was wrong because I saw the terrible hurt in her eyes when I said it, but I really did love her. And it killed me to use her the way I did.
Oh, Andy. Why?
Oh, hi, Barbara. Oh, hello, Barbara. Hello, Henry.
Henry. Katie gave this to me. She wanted me to give it to you.
Oh, thank you very much. I wonder who it's from.
Mike, may I talk to you privately for a moment?
Yes. Here, Barbara, sit down. Join us, will you?
Thank you.
Say, Mike, come here a second, will you?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah.
It's unsigned, and all it says is to whom it may concern, and it gives Rita's phone number and address in San Francisco.
Really? I wonder who could have sent that and how they got their hands on that.
I have no idea.
What's in the letter?
It's very personal. I'll talk to you about it later.
Yeah.
Is it bad?
Well, at least now I can get ahead with my divorce. That's the important thing.
When did this attorney from Mexico City contact you?
Only about half an hour ago, Mike. I wanted you to know about it right away.
What did he say?
Well, only that Stephanie Ryan's son had been in touch with him and said that he'd fly to Mexico, see about his mother's estate before the first of the year.
Before the first of the year? That's awful vague, considering the size of the estate.
Yeah, but of course, he'd never touch a penny of it if he knew that the money had come from me and from investments that I'd made for Stephanie through the years. I never wanted them to have to worry about money.
Did he leave any address or phone number he could be contacted?
No, nothing. And the lawyers tried to get it out of him, too.
That's too bad.
No, all he would say was that he was Stephanie's son and that he'd heard about his mother's death in an ad in a newspaper, and he wanted to check the details.
Well, that means he's still in the British Isles, because that's the only place that ad has been run so far.
Yeah, but you notice he didn't get in touch with you. Yours was the name to contact in the ad, but he must have sensed there was some connection between the two of us, so he calls the Mexican attorneys instead. He doesn't want me to find. But I've just got to talk to that boy.
Did the attorney say that he would contact you as soon as Sean said he would come to Mexico?
Well, of course, I asked him to do that, but Sean wouldn't tell him when he was coming. He just said he'd fly in and come into the office when he got there.
I find it very strange that he's so evasive.
Well, I find it strange, too, Mike. I just wish that his mother had told me where he was and what he was doing. But I suppose you can't expect the poor woman to break a promise to her own son on her deathbed.
Well, we'll find him. And he's got to be in the British Isles. I just don't understand why these investigators I've hired haven't turned up something. And the whole family thing seems very strange to me. I mean, if he kept in contact with his mother, why didn't he know about her death before this? Why did it take him several weeks to find it out?
I can't answer any of those questions, Mike. But, oh, how I wish Diane had never found out about him.
I do hope I'm not keeping you.
I have an appointment with Trish Lewis later at the old Copper Lantern.
Oh, I hope that turns out to be a big success for you, Vanessa. And perhaps you will sell your stock here and bow out gracefully.
Don't hold your breath waiting, Diane. Daddy and I are a very strong part of this firm since the merger, and you'd better get used to it.
Things can change, Vanessa. Sometimes very quickly.
This is not going to change, believe me.
You are so sure of yourself. I would just love to see your face if you ever found out.
Go on. Finish saying what you were going to. Found out what?
It's not that important.
Diane, I have to talk to you.
Have you been with Daddy all this time?
No, I haven't. I left when he got a long-distance phone call.
Long distance. Do you know where it came from?
I have no idea, Vanessa, but whoever he was talking to, he was speaking Spanish. He then asked me to leave his office. I did. A few minutes later, he came out, said he'd have to go over the financial reports with me later. And he left.
I'm going to find him and find out exactly what's going on. Curiosity killed the cat, Vanessa.
Now, what can I do for you?
I want an extension on that
Sorry,
time limit
that is
you
out of
gave
the
me.
question. I'd also like you to keep your brother and sister-in-law from dropping by my place uninvited and threatening me.
Well, I'm sorry, Diane, but you have put yourself in the position of being threatened by the actions you've taken.
I think I'm being very magnanimous and patient with you. You know, I could have demanded all of the stock at once. Mr. Spaulding's office.
Diane, it's me. I wanted to let you know that I'm still out of the house.
Oh, you know, I have had millions of reasons to call you today, but knowing what a big day it is for you, I haven't wanted to bother you.
Well, I plan to be here for most of the afternoon.
All right. Well, then I'll check with you later about our plans to work together tonight.
Fine. Did you give Ross my message?
Oh, isn't that awful? It just completely slipped my mind with everything else I've had to do.
Well, it's all right. I understand. Is Ross there?
Yes, he is. Just a minute. It's Alan. You'd better think up an excuse fast, or your deadline with me will be changed accordingly.
Yes, Alan.
Ross, I asked Diane to give you a message, but she forgot. I'd like you to finish up that codicil to my will as soon as possible so I can sign it right away and make it official that my 3 children get equal shares of my holdings.
Quite a letter.
You know, I really don't understand why it should bother me so much to read Rita's expressions of love for Alan, but it sure does.
Well, I can certainly understand that. Well, as soon as I get back to my office, I'll call Rita and find out what lawyer she plans to use.
Why don't you hold off on that for a while, Mike?
What? I thought you were anxious to get on with it.
Oh, I am. But you know, Frank has been asking me to fly out to California with him for my vacation when he leaves, and I'm not really looking forward to it very much. I thought it might just be a good idea to face Rita with this and get the necessary information from her right there. And that way she won't be able to skip off again after you've called her.
Well, suit yourself, but I think it'd be awful hard to see her after seeing that letter.
No, I just would like to find out from her what the reasons are for this secrecy about her whereabouts, along with a few other things. I'll think it out, and then I'll let you know what I've decided.
Hey. Hi, Sara. Hello, Trish.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Well, I was just telling Sara how much better I feel since the divorce, and I owe that to you.
No, I think that's a bit of an exaggeration.
No, it's not. How was Hope feeling before she left?
Fine. In fact, she's gone. I'm going to go over and see her. Do you want to come over and take a look at the baby?
Oh, I'd love to, but I promised Barbie that we'd have lunch today.
I could have you back here in 20 minutes, and I'll buy you both lunch.
Oh, Mike, I don't know.
I'm beginning to think you're not as grateful to me as you seem.
You know, Barbara was looking very contented with Henry Chamberlain down in the cafeteria a few minutes ago.
Well, actually, you know, I'm on my lunch hour right now. I could go down and sit with him until Mike brings you back.
Looks like the whole staff is ganging up on me. Guess I can't refuse.
Anyway.
See you later.
Good, see you then.
You know, Trish wasn't kidding about being very grateful to Mike. I mean, she says that over and over again that he's restored her faith in so many things.
You know what? I think it's working both ways, too. And I couldn't be happier about that.
Alan, I am so happy to be home again.
I was just thinking how nice it is to sit here and have lunch with you again. I want to tell you, you've never looked lovelier or more radiant.
Thank you.
Emily, has there been any noise out of the nursery, like crying or anything?
I haven't heard a sound. I even tiptoed in to make sure he was all right. He's sound asleep with the most angelic smile on his face.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily.
Well, I have the feeling that I better get to bed early tonight because if Alan Michael is going to take a long nap this afternoon, he will probably be up most of the night.
I wish I could be here to help you. Maybe I will call Diane later and tell her that I can work with her tonight after all.
Alan, how much longer are these late-night meetings going to go on?
Well, not until I can start putting in normal hours in the office, or until Diane is tired of working with me at night and decides she wants a social life of her own again.
I don't think that Diane will ever want a social life of her own until if she's got the opportunity to spend every evening with you.
I can promise you that you're very wrong about that. She may have had very strong personal attachments to me at one time, but that's before I was married to you. She knows how I feel about you. And believe me, I've never said anything to her that would indicate that our relationship was anything but professional. Nothing.
Mr. Spaulding, I hate to interrupt your lunch, but Mrs. Marler is here, and she says it's very important for her to speak to you.
Well, then I guess you better show her out, Emily.
I wonder what Jackie wants.
Can't imagine.
I'm so sorry for just dropping by like this, but Helen, I have to talk to you. It's very important.
I think you'd better work fast, Ross.
Diane, there's no way in hell I can work that fast, and you know it. Alan wants this will ready by tomorrow night.
Maybe that will force you and Justin and Jackie into some sort of action. Just be certain to let the Marlers know that it wasn't me who reneged on my deadline. Put on your thinking cap, Ross. Because if Alan signs that will tomorrow, everyone in Springfield is going to know who Philip's real parents are by the next morning. And that's another threat, if you want to think about it that way.